Hello and welcome back to this part 6 of my Great Divide mountain bike adventure. In this episode I ride onwards through Colorado over some pretty high passes and onwards towards New Mexico. Hope you enjoy what follows. Thanks for watching.
Morning all, it's start of day 37. At the moment the weather's okay, rather overcast, but maybe that'll lift as the morning progresses. Got quite a lot of wet gear at the minute, but hopefully if the sun gets out we'll be okay. Get the breakfast done. So now riding in the Gunnison National Forest on lovely graded track here. Currently at 9,500 feet thereabouts, and heading up towards the, I think it's called the Cochatoma Pass, which takes us over to a Luders Creek campground. So I think that's about maybe 4 or 5 miles ahead. But it's a nice road. The weather's pretty good at the minute, although the afternoon clouds are building with the possibility of more thunderstorms. Certainly at the moment Colorado has been cooler, fresher, wetter, more tempestuous in terms of thunderstorms than anywhere else. Thunderstorms and lightning, very, very frightening me. Hallelujah. Whoop. Get the rain stuff on. So I'm now riding up the Carnero Pass. It's about 6:30 in the evening. All the storms have cleared off. It's absolutely lovely riding in this sunshine, in amongst all these trees. If there's some camping, wild camping or whatever, further up the way, I'll see if I can find a place for a tent. So I found my pitch for the night. Lovely outlook over the mountains in the distance. It's a little bit wonky on a slight slope, but that doesn't really matter. Be okay. Morning all, day 38 begins. Had a bit of an interesting night last night. I woke up with flashes on the tent and realised that I'd woken up in the midst of a massive thunderstorm. It was all around this area, just everywhere. I got my waterproofs out and got myself prepared to dash off into the forest there to kind of shelter, thinking that the tent and the bike were a kind of massive lightning conductor. So I'm getting slowly ready this morning. I'm gonna head up Carnero Pass and maybe finish up in a place called Del Norte today. Always good news when you see the signs indicating that you've reached the top over the cattle grid, and hopefully a little bit of downhill. Yeah, it's a land of rocky outcrops, pine and aspen forest. I just hope that this trail doesn't get muddy as I go further down. Just picking me way. I'm just coming out of the mountains behind me and approaching a village called La Garita, somewhere around here. All of a sudden everything kind of flattens out. So this is how it's been in Colorado, quite a lot. but where it's graced is the direction that I'm heading for. It's not cold, could be worse, could be snowing or hailing. So we're about 10 miles out of Del Norte and the route takes us down this quite rough little double track here, like proper mountain biking stuff. But it does mean after a rainfall there's lots of big puddles. I think it's more designed for ATVs really, but it's quite good fun, but I'm getting really filthy on it. So I think we're coming to the end of this bit of pretty rough double track, coming into Del Norte, which is over there, and then presumably somewhere further on is the next day's riding back into the hills. And at this stage it looks quite nice. Morning all, it's the start of day 39 in Del Norte, and I've managed to find a little campsite, just sort of stealthy campsite on the river side. This is I think the Rio Grande River. So I'm going to make tracks as soon as I can. Today is a big day in terms of climbing. It's the Indiana Pass day, and I think it's about 11,900 feet, and I think we're here about 7,000, so there's quite a bit of height gain. Okay, let's get ready. Just setting out from Del Norte, nice place. I'm just on the lower slopes of the Indiana Pass, quite steep, oh very steep. Nice morning. I'm in the lowest gear I've got, no more after this. It's lovely surroundings. Stop for a breather. That's towards Del Norte over there. Progress update. Inclines are a bit less as you get higher. I've just gone over into the 11,000 feet zone. So I think there'll be a bit more to go. I think maybe another 800 feet. But the gradient's definitely eased here, thankfully. There we go. Indiana Pass, here we come. I think it's still another 8 or 10 miles to a place called Summitville. I think that's about it. I think that's the climb virtually complete. We're about 11,900 feet. I don't think I've been I can't remember what the Union Pass was, but I think this is definitely the high point of the Great Divide mountain bike route, and I'm so pleased to have made it without thunderstorms, because there's been some really heavy thunderstorms the last 2 or 3 days. The skies are mercifully clear. Anyway, I'm going to continue on. You can see the road sweeping round there to that green top. If there's a good view, I'll show you what it's like. So that's the way ahead. I'm heading towards Platoro, and this is the summit area. We're obviously at the tree line.
I'm on this road and somebody's just pulled up. They've just left from Wisconsin. They give me a handful of snacks. That's very kind. I'm just about to find somewhere to have a bite of lunch, so I've got plenty to go out here. That's awesome. How about that for a cabin up in the mountains? What a place. So I'm still over 11,000 feet, but it's kind of nice sort of sticking to the contour type of riding, going down this big meadow here. All of these trees have been affected by the pine beetle apparently. They're just going to be left to fall over unless a forest fire gets hold. But everywhere you look, it's just dead trees. Obviously not all of them. A particular variety of tree was affected. Nice area though, I'm enjoying this area now that I'm up here. Oh, a little deer. Hello. There's a couple of lakes very close together here, but what struck me is the different striations and colours in that mountain over there. It's just full of minerals. Look at the colours. So I've arrived at the top of the Stunner Pass, which is above Platoro, which is downhill now. Another 3 or 4 miles hopefully. I'll find a campsite there. Been quite a long day. Indiana Pass, and then the sting in the tail, slightly the Stunner Pass. Anyway, we're at the top of it now. So heading down, find a campsite, get something to eat and drink. Good day, no rain. Woohoo! Coming into Platoro. Morning all, it's the start of day 40. I'm in Platoro. Lovely morning. Bit of rain last night and thunder, but skies look clear. I stayed at the RV park in this bunk cabin. It was really comfortable. Just had a really good breakfast. Thanks to the folk that run this place. It's really nice. It's good to stay in a building for a change rather than just a tent. But yeah, getting the bike ready. Proper log cabin. There's the bunks, takes 4 people, but I had the luxury of being in here on my own, so great stay. So today heading down towards the New Mexico border, about 34 miles I think down the road. See how we get on. Oh, the roads are soaking wet, but it's not sticking to the tyres, so it's sort of rideable. But yeah, so far so good. It's downhill. Look at the view down there and the view back, direction I've just come from. Oh dear, we're into a bit of nasty conditions here.
shaking off, you alright? This descent would be absolutely brilliant if the road was in good nick. But it's still pretty good. Look at that view. Wow. What's round the corner? Always interesting to see what's round the corner. Oh well. More trees, more mountains. Could be worse. Lamanga Pass! Yay! On we go! Lamanga! Downhill from here a bit. So it's getting on towards the end of my cycling day, but I just wanted to try and get to the Colorado New Mexico border, and here it is. Carson National Forest, New Mexico, just through that gate. So we're into a new state, New Mexico, the last one I think. Well, I know it is. Morning all, this is day 41. It's the first full day in New Mexico. Bit of a wet start, given that it rained a lot last night. But it's the first shafts of sunlight are coming through. As you can see out there. Quite a nice scene really. Bit cold, chilly. I'm still at about 10,000 feet I think. So yeah, hopefully I've got a bit of a downhill start to the day. When you're walking downhill as well as uphill, you know things on the trail are not good. And after last night's heavy rain, and the cattle here have puddled all the trackway, it's absolutely, it's kind of possible to ride, but not very easy. There's mud absolutely everywhere. So this is the trail in New Mexico. It has a reputation for difficult trails, but as early as this, yeah. Anyway, heading towards the Brazos Ridge, I think it said, if I can get there. Quite a steep, rocky trail. I would say it's impossible to ride up unless you're really, really fit and got a light bike. It's nice to have these trees in close proximity though. I've not had that experience elsewhere. It's like an enchanted forest. So I've just finished pushing up that steep section, but wow, I'm on this ridge now. What a view! Look at this. So we're in the Carson National Forest. According to that, that's the trail heading up there, and it's just hills and forest as far as you can make out. I can hear a jet plane above us. The roads have improved a lot. I've passed a couple of Forestry Service campsites, and this road goes directly to them, so I think that's why this road is a bit better maintained. So that's a positive. But the countryside around is just a patchwork of trees and grazing for the cattle. And there's the road ahead. Wherever there's an empty space, there's always beef cattle on the range. Very rarely go very far without seeing beef cattle. The trail's got a little bit better here. Whoopee! Looking back, some of these pine trees are really impressive. We're at just over 9,000 feet still. A little bit shaken. I've just literally passed within a foot of a rattlesnake. I heard this weird noise and thought, that's different. It's not like a cricket. Anyway, I kind of like very gingerly went back up the road and just coiled up. Right on the side of the road was a rattlesnake, first one I've seen. But we are in New Mexico, so this is their habitat. But yeah, a bit unnerving because I probably had my ankle about 8 inches from it. It made a noise anyway to warn me. Onwards. Well, that's not what I want to see. I've got 2 more miles of uphill to go, and then I think I'm going to stop somewhere. There's a campsite coming up, but yeah, I've just spent the last hour climbing. It's a 5-mile hill this, 2 miles left. Hey ho. Morning all. This is a scene at the start of day 42 at the Hopewell Lake campground. The Forestry Service campground. There's some cattle up there. Anyway, we're surrounded by kind of ranch, open range territory, so there's a lot of cows. This is the scene. Just making breakfast. Usual start. Get a pot of water boiling. Coffee in the cup. Got some bagels to eat and some breakfast cereal. So yeah, the guy stopped on the road yesterday and gave me some bits and bobs, and very kindly gave me that big tin of yerba mate. I'm not sure what that is. Anyway, the sun's coming up, just catching the top of these trees. So it's another brilliant day, heading towards Abiquiu. See you later. Well, that's the first climb of the day out of the way. I think generally the route to Abiquiu through Cannon Plaza, Del Rito, I think, is pretty much downhill. Anyway, another glorious prospect. Forest roads are quite good here. Very nice trail. It's kind of like being in a country park for mile after mile after mile. These areas of grassland fringed by pine trees. Oh, I'm certainly coming out of the hills now, the backwoods. I think that must be Cannon Plaza down there. Lovely to see that kind of range upon range of mountains away into the distance.
So having passed through Camon Plaza, I followed the valley down to a little place called Valecitos, where the road headed uphill towards the forest again, and here I had some dinner.
Well, I think I've got the expertise of resupply sort of honed down better than I had before. Previously I used to go into a shop and come out with bagfuls of shopping and then cycle with a heavy bag past towns and villages where I could also resupply. But at the moment the bear bag is virtually empty, and I've just got one emergency dehydrated meal. And 20 miles from now I'm in Abiquiu, and I think there's a general store there where I'll resupply for the following 2 days, which will take me over to Cuba, over the Polvadera Mesa. I'll allow for maybe 2 days. So that's what I'll do. I'll just get a day or 2 days worth of food and snacks. And it's all downhill to Abiquiu from here, looking at the elevation profile. So yeah, it's taken me a while. I was probably carrying far too much food, but I think it's improved a bit. Anyway, finish the coffee and we'll pack up, take our rubbish and head on down the trail.
Oh, I think I'm entering a whole different landscape now. It's so much drier and hotter. Like a proper New Mexico desert sort of situation now, I think. But I've been going downhill for about half an hour at least. Oh, here's a hill. Spoke too soon. So this is El Rito. There's a lot of adobe properties. So it's kind of like earth, clay, water, I guess, and that's what they make the properties out of. It's a bit like home from home. So adobe in El Rito, New Mexico, clay dabbings in Rough by Sands, Cumbria. So El Rito proved to be quite an interesting place. It also had a grocery store where I was able to get some basic provisions, and also, crucially, a new gas canister for cooking. Beyond El Rito, the road was arrow straight all the way downhill, long downhill, towards Abiquiu. I took a couple of days off and then continued the trail from there. Anyway, if you've enjoyed this video, it'd be really helpful if you could give it a thumbs up. I also enjoy reading your comments. If you've got any questions or queries, put them in the space below. If you haven't done so already, please consider subscribing to my channel. And until the next time, I'm flying down the road all the way to Abiquiu, heading towards that Mexican border. See you next time. Bye for now.